Alright guys, this week I got a big stack of DC Silver Age books. This was from a sale a couple months ago. They were having a 35% off sale of DC books and a 25% off of Marvel. So naturally, me being a DC fan, it wasn't too disappointing for me. Before we get to that, we gotta get to our two from the tomb. So apologies for last week's video. I had to pull one out of the archives. It's feeling a little bit under the weather. So I decided I want to keep my Sunday streak going. So if you notice the audio sounding a hell of a lot better than this, that's the reason why. But 2 weeks before that, or a week before that, I guess I should say, I was talking about meeting Jim Steranko. So I figured I'd show the books that I got signed for this week's Two from the Tomb. I didn't want it to sound like I was dunking on Steranko or anything like that with my story. I wrote in a comment that it's probably one of my favorite people that I've ever met dealing with comics. One of the highlights of my collecting career, if you will. But meeting him was just like, I think I brought it up, like it was like meeting Frank Sinatra of comics. The dude, dressed in a suit and tie, didn't show up like a bum. Like, he was there for professional reasons, and he looks the part, acts the part. So he is one of my all-time favorite people in comics. So I'll just show you the books I got signed by him. Ended up getting this variant signed. I think this is probably his signature is just really smooth. I think I showed this book a few months ago, but I had to show it again just because of the story that was being told. But he has one of my favorite signatures in all of comics too. I mean, it takes his time, not some little squiggly line. I think I went off on about that a couple months ago. I mean, if somebody's gonna sit there, and I paid $20 each for these autographs too. So they weren't free. But this is probably one of my favorite. I got the Captain America, with the eagle in the back. Yeah. If I was a better YouTuber, I'd have an eagle screeching sound in the background. Then I got this one signed here. This is the Green Hornet. And I had this one personalized to me. Because it was one of my, the Green Hornet was one of my dad's favorite characters. Because he's a huge Bruce Lee fan too, so I carried over with me. So I wanted to get this one personalized. I got it in a silver Sharpie. I think it pops off nice, but yeah, it said, "To me, best regards." See if we can get a little close up of this action here. There you go. And we don't have too many of these guys left of that era, so it was just an honor meeting him. Never got to meet like Stan Lee or anything like that, Jack Kirby or anybody. So this is probably the closest I'll ever come to meeting them. And like I said before, it was just awesome, just being one of 20 people in this store with him, and it still took like almost an hour to get through just to get my book signed. I made sure I was the last one in line too. I did that on purpose because he had a story for everything, man, and it just like, even though it's like number 19, 20 in line, he was just the stories that were coming out as people were getting their books signed, different books and stuff like that. So it was just an honor to meet him. So like I said, I went to a comic book sale. This was months ago. I'm finally clearing out the backlog. I took a couple months off. Now it's time to get back on the clock here, like I've been saying. So like I said, DC was 35. DC slash Independent were 35% off. Then Marvel was 25. So let's see what I'm gonna start off with here. Let's start off with one I had on my, I think it was my 2021 top 10 want list. And it was Brave and the Bold, issue number 62. It's the first Silver Age appearance of Wildcat. I know. Hold on to your hat. Straighten out your wig. But no, I've had a few books with Wildcat in it from the Brave and the Bold series, so it was just it's who I know from like the early 70s Batman crossovers and stuff like that. So it was just one of those books I always wanted. I think I talked about it a couple months ago. I used to go through price guides looking for, because I'm a first appearance collector also, with long as run collector slash reader slash, I don't resell or anything like that. Might have to start, but that makes more room for the books I really need. But we'll talk about it in a different video. But it does have some issues. I only paid, I think I ended up paying $8 for it, so it's worth it to me. I've never got a chance to read it, so now I can start going through these. Also picked up Wonder Woman issue 175. I don't have any Silver Age Wonder Woman, and I'd like to get a nice collection of the 6 pillars of DC, and who I consider the 6 pillars are probably what most people do. But sorry about it. Maybe I'll edit that out. Edit that out. The 6 pillars, Aquaman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman. Who am I missing there? Batman, Superman, of course. The Trinity right there. Flash. So I like to get a nice Silver Age collection of all those guys. Yeah, if I can get 15 to 30 books of each character with Flash, Green Lantern, and Batman, Superman, I'm pretty solid on those ones. But Aquaman and Wonder Woman, I'm lacking. But I know a lot of people like keys and stuff like that. But I ended up getting this one for a really good price. I mean, granted, these aren't. These are high. I like to call high low grades. But this is issue 155. It's the first appearance of the Rogues Gallery of Flash. It was sitting right in the back issue bin. I mean, I paid. I think I paid $8 for this one. But like I said, I've been trying to piece together, try to go through some of these a little quicker. Anything with main villains on it too, I always try to buy first. The rest of the filler issues and stuff like that, they're a little bit easier to come by. But stuff with Mirror Master and all that, it's a little tougher to find. But in the upcoming months, I don't think it's going to be too hard to find. It's a lot of these common books. This one I thought was pretty wicked. Flash issue 186. Got the date stamp on her. That's pretty cool, Flash. So that's what happened to Flash. His rotting corpse down in the hole. Sounds like my kind of book. The last one, a few of these are all Green Lantern books. I gotta make sure these are in order. So, got issue number 28. Yeah, Green Lantern, yeah, 100, I looked at CLZ, the app, this morning. It was 148 issues of Green Lantern Volume 2, the Silver Age Green Lantern. As of putting these in. This is issue 48. All Gil Kane covers, man. You can't, his iconic run. That's issue 49. This is issue 50. '56. And 69. And also have issue 72. I think Gil Kane did like all the way up till it was at 75, issue 75. He did the covers for it, except for just I think it's like a handful he didn't do them for. So it's a pretty good run. And issue 74. But yeah, my Green Lantern collection, that'll probably be the first one I finish if I finish anything. So that was my DC Silver Age haul that I've been putting off for months. I did manage to go to the local shop and pick up some of my back issues here. So this will be possibly 2 weeks ago's books this week. But finally, Swamp Thing Green Lantern 2, or Swamp Thing Green Hell issue number 2, or book 2 I should say, finally came out. If you're not reading this, highly recommended. Jeff Lemire, yeah. I don't want to spoil the end for you, but if you like Swamp Thing, if you like, especially like the Scott Snyder Swamp Thing, you'll dig this. It's just a good book, and they're promising issue number 3 won't take a year to come out, like this, from issue 1 to issue 2. I think they even came out with a second printing of issue 1 like last month, so they should all be on the shelf right now. Highly recommend it if you're looking for a decent story with a horror twist to it. Of course, we got my favorite series right now, Gunslinger, issue 17. Picked up this Harley Quinn also for just for the cover here. The Harley Who Laughs, or whatever the hell this is called. But as you look inside, I mean, you can see like the what is that? The Terry Dodson Harley Quinn. It's like the multiverse of all the Harleys. I haven't really followed this series too much. I buy issues here and there if something catches my eye. There's Old Lady Harley. But it has to really look cool. For some reason, like, a lot of people have a hard time writing her. I just don't understand it. I mean, they're trying to make her, you know, Deadpool-esque. Also got Spawn issue number 338. Not loving this series, but I still dig it. I don't know if it's just the artwork, just not my style. I mean, I'm hoping they're finally getting close to the end of this storyline. They could switch out teams, but you know, David Mack cover is pretty cool. But for $2.99, it's not like I'm wasting money. And of course, my only quote unquote regular superhero comic that I buy is Batman. Sometimes it's out of habit, sometimes I really enjoy it, but I'm really enjoying this. The Chip Zdarsky run has been solid.